one. Trump says Hamas should free all hostages by midday Saturday or let hell break out. Rob, if you got the clip, play this clip and then I'll finish the story here. So he makes this announcement. I want to say, what is it? This is yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. President Trump issues an ultimatum to Hamas stating, as far as is this it, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Play the clip.
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that because that's Israel's decision. But as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out.
Now, let me read this to you. Hamas says it's delaying next hostage release, claiming ceasefire violations. Hamas announced it would delay the next hostage release, accusing Israel of violating the ceasefire by preventing displaced Palestinians from returning to northern Gaza, targeting civilians, and restricting aid. Hamas spokesperson Abu Obeida stated the release of the Zionist prisoners next Saturday, February 15, 2025, will be postponed until further notice and until the occupation commits to and provides compensation for the entitlements of the past weeks. Retroactively, Israel has denied violating the ceasefire, and Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz calls Hamas move a blatant violation of ceasefire agreements. The ceasefire, which began last month, has so far resulted in 5 hostage prisoner swaps, freeing 21 Israeli hostages in exchange for 730 Palestinian prisoners. The next scheduled swap was set to release 3 more Israeli hostages in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Glenn, what do you think is going to happen here?
You know, I always wanted a president with a twitchy eye. I've always wanted one that, you know, like in the Westerns, you're like, that son of a bitch just might kill all of us. You know what I mean? When you have a president with a twitchy eye, you listen. And he does not make threats. He makes promises. Do this, or this will happen. Do this, and I will do this. Mm-hmm. That's a promise. And unlike most presidents that draw, well, this is a hard red line, and then you get to Sunday and nothing's happened. His hard red line, I think all hell's going to break loose. Now, whether Israel is just supported by us in doing it, or if we do it, I don't know.
Vinny.
I mean, as a hostage, that is the last thing that you want to hear is an ultimatum. Because think about it, these are terrorists. We don't negotiate with them. And by the way, I know this for a fact. We know exactly where they are. We know exactly, who's holding them. We're the United States military with Israel. They know all the freaking details. And I'm just curious as to what, because think about it, Glenn. If we're all terrorists and we have, Tom and Rob as hostages. If you hear that threat, if you hear that by noon, and their attitude to me is that they're not going to back down, you know that once the breach comes in, these 2 are going to die just like that. These are terrorists that they believe that Allah is going to have them and they're going to be virgins in heaven. That is the worst thing I think that could do, because that's going to lead to they're done. If you attack, those terrorists are finished.
The terrorist or the hostages?
I'm saying, I'm sorry, everybody, hostages, 100%.
Yeah.
And my view, my heart goes out to my kid. I'm only imagining. We saw the release the other day, Tom. You mentioned this. There was 2 separate releases. The first group seemed like they were kind of healthy. And
the 4 female Israeli soldiers.
Yeah, and then they looked frail.
They looked like they were in good shape. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, but yesterday, news stories came out, and you saw the condition of these. I think these were men in like their 50s who should not have looked like that. They really looked malnourished. They looked bad, and they were not jumping around.
Yeah.
So the question is, as a president, you have to look at all of it, but you also have to say, should we have bombed Auschwitz? We would have killed a lot of prisoners, but we would have stopped them from doing that. I think you get to a point where you've negotiated, which I'm not a fan of, but okay, we got some people out, at some point, the president has to make that callous decision of these guys are bad. They're abusing these people. And it's got to stop, because if we continue to play footsie with them, they'll only grow. Kill them all.
Yep. No, I agree.
Adam.
I just feel bad.
Well, there's a famous phrase, F around and find out. And Trump has been basically warning Hamas, oh, you want to F around? Well, you're going to find out what I say I'm going to do. So I don't know what's going to happen exactly. I think he's giving them until Saturday. But Trump's made a lot of promises before. He said, before I even before I even take office, we're going to do all this. We're about to see. So at least
We're about to see. What do you mean? His threats he delivers. You don't remember Qassem Soleimani?
No, I'm with you, but he has till Saturday. Today's Tuesday.
They have Saturday till noon.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't have till Saturday. They have till Saturday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is this. I haven't never heard not one Palestinian give a good plan. Give me a good plan. Give me a plan. Show me something. All I hear is chants of river to the sea, Palestine will be free. What does that even mean? Show me a plan. At least Trump's bombastic, ridiculous Taj Mahal Gaza Strip casino thing is better than whatever they're proposing. So the alternatives to the plan, all right, so what does Trump want to get done? He wants to get the Abraham Accords finished. He wants to get normalization between Saudi and Israel. Israel's already signed normalization and peace agreements with a handful of Middle Eastern countries. We're seeing stories come out that basically the Iran threats were actually realer than they actually were perceived to be. You're seeing these stories right there.
Oh, yeah.
He knows who the head of the snake or the head of the octopus is in the Middle East, and it's Iran, and so does Saudi, by the way. So we're going to see what happens on Saturday. However, Saudi's going to have to come to the table. The Emirates are going to have to come to the table. Egypt's going to have to come to the table. King Jordan, by the way, people don't understand. King Jordan, you can pull up that article in the Wall Street Journal. King Jordan, by the way, to my Arab friends out there, Muslim friends, there's a couple different neighbors Israel has. Egypt on one side, Jordan on another. Why doesn't Egypt want any of the Palestinians?
Nor does Egypt.
Not one, bro?
Nor does Saudi
How
Arabia.
about Jordan? Hey, take a couple of these guys. Not one? The king of Jordan, if you pull up that article right there. Trump wants Jordan's help with Gaza. The king is basically saying, nah, I'm good. What are you talking about?
Didn't the Palestinians, 80 to 120 years come out of Jordan?
Well, there was a country called Transjordan at one point, and basically Yasser Arafat tried to basically overthrow the king of Jordan, I believe in the 70s or 80s, right?
That's why they don't
and
want
they basically were like, yeah, we don't want you. By the way, the people of Lebanon are like, no, we're good. Syria doesn't want. All right,
because there's always a revolution.
Okay, so if you're the people of Gaza, what's your alternative? You can't stay in the area that is basically a parking lot. We got to figure something out here, because what's a definition of crazy? Doing the same thing over and over and over again. Every handful of years, they put a war together, they lose, they cry victim. Let's put them in a safe place where they can live in peace and prosperity.
But what do you think about the
going
terrorist
to.
situation, Adam? What do you think about Trump saying, if this doesn't happen on Saturday, we're going in? What do you think about that specifically? Because I'm curious, because how many are left? How many hostages are left?
What do you mean, what terrorist situation?
What do you mean?
The terrorists
Hamas
and
that are holding
the hostages.
Hamas is terrorists? I thought they were freedom fighters. What do you mean, Vinny?
Answer the question. What do you feel about that specific thing? Him still, you're a hostage, and you're waiting there, and on Saturday at noon, they're coming in whether you like it or not.
Well, listen, whether it's the tariffs, whether it's this, whether it's Greenland,
Vinny,
whether it's Panama,
let me ask you a different
the
question.
art of the deal.
We lived in Iran.
Yeah.
We're in Tehran. Okay, Saddam says, we're going to attack you. How do you think our parents reacted? I know what my dad did. We got in the car,
And
4
left.
o'clock in the morning, we went to city of Karaj.
Yeah.
And if you want to type it on the map from Tehran to Karaj, type in how far is Tehran to Karaj. I'm sure you know how to
Rob,
spell
you know
it.
how to spell this, Rob.
How far is Tehran
He
to
just
Karaj?
he just
Rob.
typed in the word carrot.
Karaj.
J at
How
the
do you
end.
use what letters?
Karaj. J. How far is Tehran to Karaj?
Rob, it's not Cadillac.
Karajan?
3,000 miles.
Karaj could be with a Q.
This guy's
Oh, no.
using
No, it's
kilometers over here.
Karajan.
You got him using a metric system out here, Pat.
No, it's not it. Anyways,
By the way, type in Ahmadinejad real quick and just see if he's
far
still
is
hanging out
Tehran
there.
to Karaj. Let me.
Karajan?
Anyways, Karaj is 58
16
kilometers.
hours.
No, it's not, guys.
No.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at it
No,
right
it's
now.
not that
It's
far,
a
Adam.
58 kilometers is what it is, Tehran to Karaj. Anyways, We got in the car, we went there. What happened? Then they
36
started bombing
miles.
Tehran,
Okay.
and then he started bombing Karaj. Then from Karaj, we went to Bandar Pahlavi. Then Bandar Pahlavi is like northern. Then he started bombing Rasht. If you type in Rasht,
You got
type
this,
in
Rob.
That's two R's.
Rob, I believe in you, Rob. Power of positive thinking.
R-A-S-H-T.
He's got a summer
Iran.
place
Iran.
there. He knows how to spell it.
That's Rasht. Okay, so we went to Rasht.
Summer and
When
Raj.
we went to Bandar Pahlavi, he bombed Rasht. So meaning, for people that are seeing Trump say that,
Yeah.
and you got wife and kids, and you don't support the Hamas, but you're there, guess what? No, I'm talking about the families living in Gaza,
Yeah.
and you're worried about them, they have to get out. Now, for the hostages that we have, that they're going to go and attack, you don't think now that Hexet is there training with the guys early in the morning and the relationships that they have, you don't think they already have a team ready to go in there to?
Oh, yeah.
So Trump's not going to tell you what does all hell, in your mind when he says all hell will break loose, you're thinking missiles and bombs and all that stuff. No. When he's saying all hell's going to break loose, that means whoever the top head honchos, the leaders are, you're about to meet your maker. Whether the 72,
Virgins
are going to be there or
yeah.
not, I don't know. But you know what? You're going to find out here soon or not.
I'm pretty sure not.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think
listen, that's the promise. So everybody has a promise that they're banking on the faith, and only one of them is going to end up being right. We'll see which one it is. But the reality of it is that's what that means. But what is the alternative? So let's flip it. So he doesn't do that. Is it to do this? Guys, please send them because they need to meet their families.
It's not him.
Be noble and send them. We don't want to fight because please, what would you like him to do?
No.
Exactly. It's
No.
like Team America and Hans Bricks.
No, my point that I was going is like, first of all, where are the hostages? Where are they located?
They know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not. I don't think they're in Gaza, are they?
No, but what
they
I'm
have
saying
them
is
somewhere.
they know, bro.
Oh, of course they do.
Trump's camp knows
For sure.
where they're at. All they're doing is they want to make sure this is a public, you release them, similar to how Iran did with Reagan moments after he became, and they had those folks for how many days? 444 days, whatever the date is
Over
that
a
they
year,
had.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see. Saturday between now
But we
and
may go in and all of them die anyway.
it could happen as well.
could
That's an
happen.
Which
option.
I'm saying, I don't want to wait.
I think
I'm about
that's the last option.
Yeah.
But there's a possibility that could take place as well. I don't think Trump's going to take that option. I think he's going to take a different option. Gentlemen, for you, if you're married or you're dating a girl who watches the PBD podcast and loves Valuetainment, by the way, I am being stopped right now more than ever before with ladies that watch the PBD podcast. We did a market research. We realized it was because of Tom Ellsworth, but
Anyway.
it's gone up a lot
Neither here
because
nor
of the interest and Tom being a family guy, and a lot of ladies want their husbands to be paying attention to Tom and what things we talk about here. There's requests of getting rid of Adam. A guy tweeted me the other day saying, look, don't ever make the mistake of getting rid of Adam. He is this. He starts building up how special Adam is. I'm like, oh, my God, Adam, stop. I thought it was Adam on the other end trying to sell me on himself. And I responded back. I said, I have some bad news for you. We just fired Adam, and he was devastated. Started campaigning, but unfortunately, Adam is back. And we're great to have him. And you guys know we love Adam. But at the same time, this is about Valentine's Day for you and your wives. So let me get back to that
It was
message.
a nice love message, right?
Yes, it was. You got a little too much last week, and I'm trying to tone it back down for you.
Put me in my
because
place, sir.
You don't need a lot of it.
No,
Sometimes when
I
you
don't
do
need
get,
that.
you're walking in clouds, and
We don't need that.
Adam's a Hollywood guy, folks. You got to get used to that. But let me get back to you, gents. Valentine's Day, okay? Last week, we had the rhinestone shirt with the Valuetainment. You see the black one right there, Rob? Sold out like this. So, fellas, good for you for purchasing it for your wives, but that's been sold out. The one that we have now is the red one, red sweater with the VT logo on the front, and the Future Looks Bright on the back. The material is amazing, absolute amazing material. You, Rob, we still have some of the pink hats left. If you order today and you put the 2-day shipping, you will get this Valentine's Day, and the first 50 orders, again, special gift will be added in the box. Go place the order. That pink hat was a number 5 selling item we had last week. Not that one, the other one, the bottom left. That one was a number 5 best-selling item last week for Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.